Welcome guys to our special series of cuisine in Italy. This amazing country has so much more to offer than just pizza and pasta. We will of course be trying the best pizza and pasta in the world, but we will be taking you on a journey to show you some of the lesser known cuisines across Italy also. And the great thing about this place is the cuisine differs across region. Italy's history is fantastic. Formerly, before its unification, it was effectively a number of different city-states. Some of the big cities that you see in Italy now during the medieval times were their own city-states, and that independence, that autonomy allowed them to flourish and develop a culture of their own and create certain foods in an iconic, exclusive way. So we're going to be beginning our journey here in Lake Como in the village of Bellagio. From this point onwards we're going to be heading south onto Milan, from Milan to Pisa and Florence, from there to Rome. From Rome we'll head to Naples, where of course pizza was invented, and from Naples we'll head down to the Amalfi Coast to take in some of that beautiful scenery. From the Amalfi Coast we'll make our way back up north via Bologna and Verona. We're going to be taking you through the ultimate food tour and highlighting the best foods across the journey. This is cuisine in Italy. We're driving towards Milan center. We're gonna have our first meal of the day. A pretty typical snack dish here in Italy, very popular in the northern part of Italy. What we're going for is a piadina. Now this is a beautiful Italian flatbread. And there are all sorts of fillings that you can try with it, and these things are served in piadineries, which are kiosks, stalls that you can find around the city, and they're made fresh. We're heading to one of the best piadineries in Milan, and we're very, very excited. Okay, so we're gonna try a few different variations of the traditional piadina. Now this is a lovely thin Italian flatbread, and this one is a very special one because it's shoved with Italian Gorgonzola cheese, which is something they absolutely love here. They're super proud of the cheese that they produce, the veiny blue cheese that is Gorgonzola, and in there is broccolis and some sweet onion. So this is a really typical Milanese dish, really typical Italian dish. Oh wow, that blue cheese Gorgonzola, so pungent, so strong. Certainly the most powerful ingredient in that bite. Subtle taste from the broccoli, classic kind of broccoli wrapped in cheese, tastes good, it's soft, and then those sweet red onions are just slightly caramelized, adds a lovely sweetness to the bite, and that bread is just brilliant, so thin, so crispy, so kind of flaky, a really good flatbread. Right, so here we have the aranciata amara. This is a typical drink that you can find here on the streets of Italy, very popular here in Milan, and there's a bit of history behind this drink as well. Apparently it's been served for about 1,000 years. Not this specific drink, but the concept of a bitter orange drink. The characteristic of this thing is it's very bitter, so I'm sure that's gonna make it very interesting. Just gonna try a little bit. Wow, that's almost unbearably bitter. Very sweet, got a nice orange taste to it, but the aftertaste is very strong, very bitter. Do you know what? It's very bitter, but it's not necessarily bad. There's something about it that's very refreshing, quite tasty actually. It leaves a really strong bitter orange taste in your mouth. Imagine having a lot of that orange zest, but it's quite nice. I'm enjoying it actually. It's a pretty good drink. Got a bit of fizz to it as well, so carbonated, and a wonderful fragrance. Beautiful aroma to it. No, this is very nice. So the second piadina we're gonna try. I'm super excited about this one. We've got smoked salmon in there with cherry tomatoes, buffalo mozzarella, and some basil. And we've also got pink pepper in there as well. Just look at that inside, oh my god. Again, mozzarella cheese, something these guys love in Italy as well. They're very, very good cheese producers. They make amongst the best cheese in the world. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. Again, oh, that piadina is so crispy. It's such a good piece of bread. This is going to be special. It's so wonderful. The flavors in there, again, very subtle. It's not an incredibly smoky salmon that you get when you buy a kind of sandwich from your local Tesco. It's very subtle, very, very subtle on the palate. And then you've got the cherry tomatoes. The salmon is so subtle that you can actually taste the tomatoes, which is quite weird because usually tomatoes are quite light in flavor as well, but these cherry tomatoes are quite strong. And then you've got the basil as well, which provides a lovely taste to it. It's almost like a bit of a pizza, but with salmon in it, because you've got the tomato, the cheese, and the basil, kind of like a Margherita pizza. But oh my god, this is lovely. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what a sweet piadina looks like. Now, this is filled with Nutella, crushed hazelnut, some apricot jam, and sprinkled with some caster sugar. Oh my god, you can just feel the softness of this. It's so delicate. Oozing out in every direction is that beautiful, beautiful Nutella. This is going to be heavenly. It's evident already. Oh my god. That is honestly a Ferrero Rocher sandwich. The bread, soft, beautiful, a little bit doughy, which works well with the crispiness of the hazelnut in there and that chocolate. And there's a touch of apricot jam as well, so you get that little hint of apricot taste as well. Oh man, this is lovely. Spontini, established 1953, been feeding the good people of Milan since then. This is basically a must-do when you come here, and it's a really different way of having a pizza because one slice is basically almost the same size as a loaf of bread. It's a really thick, ultra deep pan pizza. On top, we've got 3 different variations, and the really cool thing is they cut it up into slices almost, and you eat it in little blocks. That's how big it is. So I'm gonna go straight in for this Margherita one, plus some oregano and some anchovies. A really salty piece of fish, effectively. That's what this is. Oh my god, look how thick that is as a slice of bread. It's super, super thick. Alright, delicious. The base of the bread, very, very crispy. And then the middle, bread very, very fluffy, quite light, quite oily. Cheese and tomato sauce soaked up, and then the saltiness of the anchovy really cuts through everything, adds another dynamic to it. I'm gonna try this one as well. This one's a bit special because it's just marinara, there's no cheese. And then you've got some capers, black olives, and anchovies on it as well. Again, just look at the base of that bread. It's almost, it feels like a cake in terms of how thick it is. Oh, beautiful. Really, really salty, but that adds to the dynamic of what this pizza is, the Spontini pizza. It's very warm, it's comforting, it's large, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is a must try. If you want to eat like the locals, you've got to try the Panzerotti here at Luini's Bakery. This place has an amazing history and has been attracting customers in since 1949. You've seen from some of the pictures that we're showing just how busy it is. The locals come here for a great snack. Now, what is the Panzerotti? It's a little bit different from the calzone. They're often confused with one another. The difference is that this is effectively a pizza turnover that's deep fried, whereas a calzone is almost like a pastry or a bake that's put in the oven and baked. So that's the key difference here. This is fried. Now the story goes A woman called Giuseppina Luini came to Milan to start a new life for herself and her family. Come a few years after serving the local restaurants and hotels bread, she was missing her local food from the south of Italy, and that's when this was introduced, the Panzerotti. So she introduced it to the Milanese people, and soon enough the Milanese fell in love with this dish. So I'm very, very excited to try this. That is absolutely delicious. The beauty of this is it's almost like a donut. This bread is so soft and fluffy, a little bit doughy and bouncy. When you bite into it, it's got a little bit of spongy texture to it. So imagine the texture of a donut. That's what this tastes like. And inside you've got that beautiful bits of cheese and tomato. And you've got that oily goodness from where it's been deep fried. This is a very, very interesting dish, very tasty, unlike any other pizza or calzone I've ever tried. Right, so we've come to Pisa, a stone's throw away from the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the famous monument here, and we've come to enjoy some traditional food. We're in a restaurant called La Torria. We're going to try some Bruschetta, the famous bread with tomatoes, garlic, onions, and some olive oil. This is a very simple, disarming dish. You see this, there's nothing shocking about it or scary about it, nothing that makes you think, I don't know if I want to take this. It's just simple, and that exactly is what is so good about it. That's the beauty of it. It's so simple. The perfect starter. So, let me take a bite of this bad boy. Very messy. Super messy. The beauty of it though is its simplicity. Produce is very good. Tomatoes juicy, fresh. Olive oil very good on that bread. A little bit of rocket as well. It's so fresh. Ingredients so fresh. It's drizzled with that fresh olive oil as well.
That brings us to the end of Cuisine in Italy Part 1. Join us next time where we continue our food adventure in the north of Italy and head to the incredible cities of Florence and Bologna.